You know that part of sadness where you feel like a burden on everyone and annoying and nobody cares about you? Can we get rid of that part? It's like, yo, I'm already sad. Gotta add insult to injury that I have no one to talk to about it. It's crazy. Like, why do we feel this way? Why do we feel this way when we get sad? I don't want to feel this way anymore. I want to feel like I do have someone to talk to. People do care about me. I am loved. I'm not alone. That's how I want to feel, but I don't feel like that. Okay, this is embarrassing. So unless you're a stone cold boulder, you're valid to have emotions. More than that, you're valid to express those emotions. And so for there to be any circumstance that expression of those emotions is devalued, debunked, denied, then you are not in the wrong. You need to change your environment. You need to step away, you need to walk away, or you need to snip it away, period. Hi KJ gang, my name is Kyra. Welcome to KJ's World. As you can tell by the board today, we are back in KJ's Corner. So we're going to be talking about mental health. As you've seen from the previous clip, and as you can tell by the title, today we're talking about feeling like a burden. And I want to first say that this isn't to victimize anyone. This isn't to make anyone feel bad. This is simply because we need to have more conversations about the reasons why we have these feelings, why these feelings are happening in our society, and not just casting them down. We never question why we feel this way, and thus cycles will continue. Today, we're not going to be talking about, oh, you're not just a burden to your friends, you're not a burden to your family. We're going to be getting into the real truth of why you feel like a burden with your friends and family, why you feel like a burden to share your emotions, and why you feel like a burden just wanting help. While I do want to thank Lizzo for posting this video, there was actually a video I had seen right before hers, and it was the real reason I wanted to make the video. The rundown of the video is that a woman got hit by a car. She's on crutches and she's literally saying she did not want to feel like a burden. So she did not call the ambulance. She did not call her family, and she let the man go because she simply felt that he may have been having a worse day than her. So now this woman had to go to the doctors by herself because she did not want to call her family, and she is literally with a broken leg, with a cast and crutches, telling the whole world that she felt like so much of a burden to call and ask for help and to be needing of help that she'd rather suffer alone. The concept that we would rather be miserable and rather lower ourselves than involve anyone else with our own emotions and our own issues simply for fear of overwhelming them is complete trash. And today we're going to be getting into depth on why. There are 4 reasons that this is an ongoing cycle in our community. Broken trust. Someone you trusted at some point or another, you tried to confront them with your emotions and they basically let you down. Number 2, shame. This comes with more about how we feel about expressing our emotions and the deep fact that sometimes some of us feel embarrassed, or we feel weak, or that there's shame or guilt tied to expressing our emotions to other people, tied to having to look for other people, and tied to having to count on another person to help us deal with our emotions, our issues, our problems, our situations. Worth. Similar to the next one, our worth is oftentimes to the reason that we feel like a burden. We view ourselves so little, so small, that we think that we're deserving of every situation that happens to us. Thus, we must deal with the situation that happens to us by ourselves, and that simply is not true. We view ourselves so little that we can't even feel worthy enough to confront them head on and be able to express them out loud. Who cares who defends? Who cares how they take it? Because at the end of the day, we fail to realize that we're not responsible for how other people take information or news. We're simply responsible for how we express and take and handle our news. And I'll get into that later. The fourth reason that you may be feeling like a burden and that we commonly tend to feel like a burden is trauma. And I know when everyone brings up trauma, it's like, no, hear me out. Trauma simply means that you've had an experience before where you've tried to share and it was shut down. Similar to the first one where it was someone you trusted. This necessarily doesn't have to be someone you trusted. This could simply just be based off of past experiences of you trying to share, trying to open up, trying to trust, trying to give, and it was let down. And that you've gone forward basing your future endeavors off of this past letdown, past disappointment, or past broken trust. So the first concept, broken trust, someone that you gave your trust to, someone that you trusted, or someone that I don't know how else to put this. Some point or another, there was somebody that you gave your trust to, somebody that you looked up to, somebody that you respected. You went to them in confidence, you went to them for support, you went for them for emotional duress, whatever the cause may be. You went to this person that cared about you and they disappointed you. This is going to trigger a release in your brain that people are going to let you down and that you don't want to deal with that. And this could also come off as in you've come to this person and it shows so many times. It can show, especially like as a child or as a regular person, you're very excited about something. It doesn't all these emotions. When you say emotions, guys, I feel I am really working hard with my brand and with KJ's world. I promise y'all, I'm going to change this concept of what it means to be emotional and a crybaby because I'm done with it. I'm done with it. That being said, when you come to someone, when I say come to someone with your emotions, this does not mean sad. This does not have to mean depressed. You could come to somebody with your emotions and happiness. You could come to somebody in your emotions with joy, with pride of something. You've done something well, something that you've accomplished, and they brushed it off. You went to something that you were passionate about and they shot it down. You went to someone that you were like thrilled about something, the coolest thing. I know I felt this so much as a kid growing up, and my friend groups and people that I was around, being that weird dorky kid where I'm excited about musicals and stupid stuff like, medieval times, or I don't know, the new cartoon movie, something crazy, something that I'm passionate about, something that I enjoy, and I go to someone that I look up to or that is important in my life, and they made me feel as if I shouldn't feel excited about it. It wasn't worth being excited over. It wasn't that big of a deal. There are so many different ways that people can turn things without even realizing how they're doing it that affects us. That's why it's so important to keep those people in your life, in your circle, that you genuinely do trust, that you don't have to feel like a burden to bring your emotions to. Because 9 times out of 10, and this is the honest and hard truth of the fact, that if you have to come to somebody and you feel like you're a burden to this person in your life, then at some point in your life, this person made you feel like a burden, and they aren't. I'm not saying you gotta kick everybody out. Hear me clearly, but I am telling you to recognize that that was the situation that's happened. You're not just going to feel like a burden. We are humans. We are meant to have emotions. That whole propaganda of women being more emotional than men not being allowed to express their emotions, it's dead. That. KJ gang, you are allowed to express your emotions, and anyone that makes you feel less than for sharing your emotions, expressing your emotions, feeling your emotions is in the wrong, not you. And when you recognize that, and you recognize that this is the situation that's portraying in front of you, you won't feel like a burden. You'll realize that this person isn't worthy of me expressing these emotions to, and you'll move on. And that's just honestly how it has to be for you to grow and for you to not hurt. Because you're doing more damage to yourself, lowering yourself, hurting yourself, putting yourself down for just being allowed to feel. The sun was doing a lot there. She was shining, girl. I had to fix that. Anyway, on to the next one. The next reason you could be feeling like a burden, and that we tend to feel like a burden with dealing with people that's in our lives, is that we view ourselves and we view our self-worth so low. We put ourselves down constantly. So when someone else does it and we confront them, we expect it and we almost adapt to it, and we move forward with accepting how little that we've been treated, how little that we allowed ourselves to be treated, how little we treated ourselves. I mean, there's a common misconception, there's a common statement, and I say it all the time. It's from one of my favorite movies, The Perks of Being a Wallflower. I think it's actually somewhere up here on the wall. If not, that's insane. But it's the concept that we accept the love we think we deserve. We accept being treated the way we think we deserve. We allow people to stay in our circles that treat us like a burden because we feel like we deserve to be treated like a burden. But yet we get confused when we are treated like a burden, and we're wondering, why is this okay? Why is this happening? Why do I feel like this? Because you're allowing it to continue happening. And it's not often a choice, or it may not even be a simple realization, but until you question and really go in depth with yourself and with those around you and do an analysis of why and who's around me, what's triggering this feeling of feeling like a burden, where does this feeling of feeling like a burden come from? We see that in these 4 reasons: trauma, shame, bad, broken trust, low self-worth, time and time again, we're going to be in a scenario where one of these emotions is present, and that is why we're feeling like a burden. But we don't realize it because we don't have these open conversations. You go to tell someone, you post, oh, I feel like a burden. What do you get? Oh, don't feel like a burden. Oh, you're not a burden. You're fine. You're not a burden to your friends. You're not a burden to them. Just go drink water, sip your green tea and your matcha iced latte, and everything's gonna be fine. And it's not. I'm sorry, but it's not. Until we all sit down and have these open conversations, we're gonna forever feel like a burden. We're gonna forever feel like our emotions towards others are invalidated. Your emotions are valuable. Who you are is valuable. You shouldn't be questioning why. You should be questioning who is making me feel like this. And when you look down and you look around and it's nobody else and it's just you, then you need to evaluate, is it shame that I'm feeling? Is it embarrassment that I'm feeling? Is my self-worth right now lower than the person that I'm worried about sharing my feelings to? Is this person that I'm trying to share my emotions with, do I view them higher than I view myself? When you start having these conversations with yourself, you're gonna realize that environment is everything, what you accept is everything, and what you tolerate is everything. The last reason we tend to feel like a burden is from past experiences. We've trusted someone at one point or another, we've gone through the whole, okay, what's going on, and we've continued to be let down. After enough failed experiences, after enough failed disappointments, you're not gonna wanna share anymore. You're not gonna wanna bring your exciting news to this person anymore. You're not going to deal with it. After a while, you're going to get fed up. You're not going to want to deal with any part of sharing your emotions, being open with your emotions, discussing your emotions, involving your emotions, and it is going to continue a cycle of broken people. Until action is taken, we're always going to feel like a burden trying to confront our feelings and our emotions. And I cannot express that enough. I could go blue in the face. Your emotions are what are a part of you. Inanimate objects don't have emotions. Rocks don't have emotions. People have emotions. Plants have emotions. Animals have emotions. So unless you're a stone cold boulder, you're valid to have emotions. More than that, you're valid to express those emotions. And so for there to be any circumstance that expression of those emotions is devalued, debunked, denied, then you are not in the wrong. You need to change your environment. You need to step away, you need to walk away, or you need to snip it away, period. And I cannot stress this enough. KJ gang, you're not a burden to anyone. Someone has made you believe that you are, and that's done in 2021. Hot girl summer, we're not playing that. We're not tolerating that. We're not accepting that. I will not accept less than I deserve. I will not allow my emotions to be dictated by how someone else feels. I'm going to express how I feel. That angry Black woman narrative is dead. If you've allowed me to get to the point where I'm being portrayed as an angry Black woman, it's because you weren't listening and I had to get loud. And so at this point, I'm just loud, and I hope you all hear me. KJ gang, I hope you hear me. Lizzo, I hope you hear me. Lady that got hit by that man, he's straight up wrong. You should have sued and got your bag. I hope you hear me. That's insane. It is insane that someone has taken your power away. It is insane that someone has devalued you. It is insane that someone has allowed you and continue to allow you, because we don't know what's going on in your situation. You may still be in that relationship or not. We're going to continue feeling like a burden. We're going to continue dealing with these toxic expressions of emotion from people that we care about and accepting less than we deserve until we start as a community having open conversations about what it is that we're willing to accept and what it is that we're not willing to accept. And that's just the honest truth of it. I hope at the end of the day's video that you guys were able to gain some information. You were able to get a deeper look at these 4 elements and how they come across and why we feel like a burden. Like I said, I don't want to victimize anyone. I don't want anyone to feel like they're being attacked or that this is unchangeable, unsolvable, oh, woe is me. No. It's simply pay attention to your surroundings, pay attention to what you're willing to accept, and move forward. Don't accept anything less than you deserve. I do not care who it's from. I'm sorry. I do not care who it is from. Know your worth, add tax, and do not accept anything less than that. And with that, I hope today's video was informative. We're going to continue doing more mental health videos. More videos are going to be dropping this week. That is it for today's video over here in KJ's Corner. We love the KJ's Wall. And yeah, this has been KJ's World. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Until next time, I want to inspire you guys to be radiant and unique. Love yourself, love others. Bye.